Hey guys, Anna here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another speed build. Today we're in the world of Nordhaven and we are building a laundromat kind of slash cafe slash reading area. I don't know. And then on top of the laundromat slash cafe, we have a 2x1 bedroom apartment. And this is located in the Gamavik part of the world, which is the canal side world in Nordhaven. So this is this is a particular build that I designed on grid paper, and it was a build that I feel it has a very basic floor plan, a very basic shell, I would say, and it came together fairly quickly. I did go through a process when building this in the beginning where I wasn't sure how I wanted things to look. So as you can see here, I'm starting out with having, the washing machines and dryers all in a line and having some waiting chairs and whatnot. This completely changes. In the end, where I'm putting this cafe section is actually where the laundromat section of the build is, and then we use the cafe kind of seating and lounges in this section. And it all kind of started with and you'll see it in a minute, I grab these room dividers, I'm doing it here, and I create these kind of like sections where it's like a seated area and then the washer and the dryer. And in my mind it was like, oh yeah, this is kind of like, you can sit down and your washing's going. But then I was like, this would be a very loud area, because you've got washers and dryers going and you're trying to have a conversation. So I didn't feel like it made much sense. So in the end, that I used this section where these green chairs are, that becomes the main kind of seating area for the cafe. So that's where all of your little cafe dining chairs and tables will be. And then I keep that front kind of lounge sitting area at the front of the build. I thought that was a really nice area to have. And I also wanted to use those new couches that we got with Sims 4 Businesses and Hobbies, because I had not yet used them. They're the ones where it's kind of like this definitely fits for like a jazz lounge or bar, and I feel like that's the one type of community lot that I've never built, and I really want to build it. I kind of feel like that's the one thing I want to build. I have done 3 builds with this particular pack, and I definitely feel like I understand the pack inside out. I definitely feel like I know, and I said this in last Thursday's build, the industrial pottery tattoo studio. Sometimes the lighting on the lots are a little bit sketchy, and that's a gripe, but also I do find that I don't know, like I feel like there is so much you can do with this pack, but if you had other packs, it's just going to look infinitely better. This particular build does use all my packs. I didn't restrict in any type of way. Not like the candy store. So the candy store that I built when the pack came out back in March, that particular build is just base game and businesses and hobbies. This has all of the packs. I really loved the Palace Step green shade, but I didn't really like the wallpaper. So in the end, we do change the wallpaper. I change this front section to pink, and I keep the yellow, but I go with a lighter shade of yellow. It's like a lemon pastel type yellow, and that kind of creates the main kind of shell of the build. As you can see, we've used some stairs off to the side. Later in the video, you might see that I've shifted the build to one side of the lot. So this lot is quite, it's quite wide. And I move it over and I include like a fenced formal backyard for the family that will live on top of this business. So I thought that was really good. So so this is what I mean. So I've got that front section still where I've got a seating area and I used the fireplace because I hadn't used a fireplace in one of the builds yet. So I wanted to incorporate that. And then I've left this front section for more seating, and I've tucked the cafe counter down the back. And I think that this works because my stairs are outside. So the stairs the stairs to go to the actual residential property are outside, which allows me to use more room in the actual, I can use this whole floor. Right. So this is the laundry mat section of this build. It's not very big, but I'm trying to think of how many Sims would actually come to a lot. I have a feeling that I heard somewhere that it's something like, in your game, something like 20 Sims at a lot at a time is the maximum or something. So I don't know. I could be wrong about that. But, if you think about that, you're not going to have a crazy amount of Sims. And then of those 20, how many are actually going to be doing laundry? They could be going and using the cafe section of this build. They could be doing anything. I decided to do a little bit of color. So we've obviously used a lot of pastel colors for the external part of this build. And I wanted to tie that in. So I've used the pink and the blues. And I really love that pink tile. I think it's really sweet, which I've used again in the bathrooms, which are very simple in there. And then I just added a sink and a rubbish bin behind the cafe counter. Now, from experience of playing with the pack, if you have a cafe, there is so much cleanup that needs to happen. So I wanted to make sure I had plenty of bins on this particular lot because that was my experience. The one thing I do change towards the ends are those curtains. It just feels very heavy in that section, having curtains on both sides per window. I don't know. I don't know if that's just me. You'll have to let me know in the comment section down below. Do you agree that that looks like it's a little bit much? I thought it looked like it's a little bit much. So towards the end, we do remove one side. All right, we are upstairs in the residential part of this particular build. I start with the kitchen because I did struggle with the floor plan of this a little bit because I wanted to do 2 bedrooms. So I started with the master and, place the bed that I wanted to use and kind of go from there to see what I could do. I then realized the bathroom of this build is literally going to be this front rectangle. It's very tiny and the door is actually on one tile, which is something I don't like to do, but I've done it in this build and it's okay. It was the best solution that I had with the space because I wanted to make sure I had 2 bedrooms and a decent sized living room. So in this particular build, you walk in, you'll have your living room. I do put in a piano, I believe, in this particular build. Again, I'm trying to use items with the pack that I hadn't used at this point. So a piano was one of those items. And then you've got that kitchen, which I love the blue, and that blue kind of carries through the house. What other colors do we use a lot of? Potentially yellow, pink, and yeah, ton of windows, flood in all the light, which is really lovely. I do use a base game couch. I wanted this to have a little bit more of a family home vibe to it. I do use these new chairs from the pack. As I've mentioned in previous videos, I don't really like the swatches of these chairs, but I thought that this one was okay. Is it this build that I use it? Maybe. It might actually be, sorry, my apologies. It might be Thursday's build that I use the piano. I don't believe I use it in this particular build because there's definitely not enough room. So Thursday's build is like a book cafe. That particular build, I do a 3 bedroom, I think it's a 3x1 apartment, multi-story apartment on top of a business. And that particular build has a piano. That is a lovely build. So stay tuned. That is Thursday's video. So both videos this week are in Nordhaven. So yeah, these are our community lots. So this content is obviously being built back when the pack came out. I just had a lot of content that was kind of pre-built. So I wanted to get through a lot of that first in the month of April, but I wanted to end on a high note and make sure that I include this. So yeah, we're into that bathroom. Very simple in here. It was a very odd shape, so I just included a shower. I didn't include a tub. And I do put in some curtains in there, but again, I don't put curtains along that whole back wall. I just believe I put in 2. All right, we are in the master bedroom, and I really wanted to use the pink. As you can tell, I started with that bed, and I really liked the pink. It was like a raspberry color. So I've used the same wallpaper from the outside and just used the paneling. Just keep the same kind of color scheme. It just makes it easier. And you know it's going to be cohesive. All right, this is a new wardrobe that came with the pack that I hadn't used at this time. I love that standing mirror from Jungle Adventure. As you guys know, I've mentioned it a ton. I put in an easel. I thought, why not? I had the room, some extra skill building. I put in a desk and another computer. And then we will be moving into the, I'm just putting in the curtains. So you can see here, I don't put too many. I just think it looks a little bit better with not having, when you've got a lot of windows in a space. If you're only dealing with one window, it's fine. But when there's a couple, it looks a bit cluttered. All right, into the final bedroom of the house, which I believe is a child's room from memory. I'm just putting different colored curtains around the place. Yes, I believe it's a child's room. Yeah. What can I say about this room? I like this room. It's just got blues and oranges. I really wanted to use this rug. So I can't remember if I used it downstairs. I think I used it originally and then I deleted it. But I really like this rug, and I thought it would go really nice for like a kid's room. I don't know, just the geometric shapes and stuff and the colors. We do change the curtain back to white. I think that particular yellow, it's more gold as opposed to like yellow. And then I remembered we did get a new Bluffy with the pack, so I do swap that out and add that Bluffy in, which I'm doing right here. I think it's, Benjamin. Oh. I love the name. And then I thought maybe the sim is into pets and space and science and all that. So I just clutter the space with some posters. I use a lot of the posters from the Stranger Things game pack. That came in clutch here. And then just clutter up the space. Just put some things on the dresser. It's got a desk to do homework. I didn't want to add in a third computer. I thought that would be a little bit excessive. But yeah, especially with it just being a child sim. But yeah, very basic bedroom. And I believe, what color is the wallpaper in here? I think it's like a light orange, I believe. I want to say it's like a light orange. Green. Yeah. It very much matches it's kind of very close to the yellow that's used for the general wallpaper of the build. All right, going to clutter up the kitchen. We add in a kettle. We add in a candy machine, which obviously came part of the new pack. We add the new recipe book that came with the pack. And I believe I just add in a ton of clutter that is, like a dish rack, some paper towel. I think I add the alarm clock that comes from high school years. I like that piece. It's like a kitchen timer. That's what I perceive it to be. Kind of cool. Just adding some clutter on this buffet table. I add in cushions. I thought that these cushions were really lovely because they're the same color as the beige that's in the rug. So it kind of makes it, cohesive and pulls together. I used a small coffee table. This one's from the Desert Luxe kit. Works really well because I didn't have a massive space, but I wanted something there. It looked a bit empty, so a small coffee table worked in that particular space. And what else do I put? Do I put I believe, a bookend, yeah, because I didn't have a bookshelf. A very small area, very small area. A plant, Jungle Adventure, love this plant. And then on this particular wall, I just put things like the parenting chart. I put in some aprons and I put in, the dustpan and broom. Just very basic household, homely vibes. Put in a backsplash in the kitchen. This again from Home Chef Hustle. And that is basically the apartment portion of this build. I do add in a mailbox, the new mailbox we got with the pack, and some lights on both areas. So it is a symmetrical build. The other side of this build, obviously, that is not a balcony, so that's where our bathroom is. I think it's okay that you don't have access to there. If you were to download this build, it is on the Sims 4 gallery. My gallery ID is Antoinette44. It's in the description below. You could alter this quite easily, but I really struggled with that floor plan because I wanted to include 2 bedrooms. But if you just wanted the 1 bedroom, you totally could alter it. But there's still quite a lot of space on this lot. As you can see, I'm putting in a decent backyard, but you could have made this build even bigger. This is a really good lot, I feel, to have multiple maybe townhouses on. You could do something really cool with this particular lot. Yeah. All right. So we're getting into the landscaping, and the landscaping is very basic. So I just use the trees that are around in the world, base game trees, put in a base game pathing, and the first thing I wanted to do was section off that backyard that's only going to be used by the residents, and I put the gate kind of behind a tree so that it looks a little bit more private. And I put in the car park, which I'll put some debug cars and some bikes in. I put in some bins. I love these wheelie bins. They're so realistic. They actually look very similar to the bins that we have in Australia. So, well, the ones that I have in where I live. I should say, I don't know about the rest of Australia, but these ones, yeah. So I'm putting in the fencing. I really like this kind of stone fencing. I think that it looks a little bit more realistic. We obviously got fencing that had fairy lights on it, but I feel like, I don't know. I feel like you need a little bit more of a solid fence. I did change out the staircase that goes up to the residential build. I felt that the one that came with the pack is very modern, and this is not a modern type build. So I decided to swap that out. And I believe we're just going in with some basic shrubs, and I think what do I put in here? Probably some hydrangeas and these kind of circular shrubs as well. I kept it very basic. I think that's what I've liked about these community lots is that you don't need to put a lot of landscaping because it's a business kind of thing and it's very simple. I really hope I put in a foundation. I'm really concerned that I forget to add a foundation to this build. This might be very awkward. I just realized looking at this. If you do see this on the gallery and it doesn't have a foundation, I am really sorry about that. That is not something I usually do. I will forget. So that will be a first for me. But I'm thinking that there's not much left of this build and I haven't put in a foundation. All right, so and then we move into this back section. So the way that I did it was I started with the pathing, and kind of connected the path to where the staircase was. And I thought, okay, this could be like a little section where you would have maybe your grill and like a seating area. I wanted to use the new swing set that came with the pack. And then by the time I did that, it was actually not a lot of room. So I just put some shrubs and some extra flowers in and kept it very simple. I think, yeah, just used ferns and hydrangeas. Yep. And then we put in the swing set that comes with the pack. I like it. I'm just kind of like, I wish we wouldn't get swing sets with every pack. The last couple of packs we've all gotten swing sets, and it's like, can they just put it in the base game? That would be so much nicer, because at the moment the base game has like monkey bars and that's it. It really doesn't have a lot in terms of that kind of category. So I would love to see a swing set in the base game, but not necessarily for a pack, because they come in every pack. I love these new outdoor umbrellas. They're one of my favorite items that came with this particular pack. And yeah, we're just finalizing this and adding some extra dirt under the plants. And I put these little tiny dine out plants on each of the tables. I think they're really sweet. I put a bookend on that what is it, a coffee table, a speaker, because from playing this game it's good to have the ambience. You've got to factor that in. So I put in a speaker. I've removed all of those additional curtains like I mentioned, and I put in a signing thing and an extra rug. I felt like there was a lot of space there, so I just put in like a plain rug. All right, I'm just kind of zooming around to double check that I don't have anything else that I need to do, but I forget to put a foundation on this build. That's embarrassing. All right, let's do our tour. So you walk in, you have that open space, you have the laundromat section of the business, and then on the opposite side, you have the cafe. So you've got those seating areas, a place to read a book, place to eat, have a coffee, whatnot. And you have a pretty decent sized bathroom in this particular build. You then go outside, you have all of your decorations. You have that, the outside area for the residents. You're up the stairs and you walk in to what is the living room. And there's like a study nook. You've got a kitchen, dining, and your first bedroom, which is a child's room. And then you have the master's bedroom. And really lovely color in there. And the bathroom, very small. And that is the build today, guys. I apologize about the foundation. If you've watched till the end, thank you so much, and please consider subscribing. It does help me out. And with that, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.